There are times when even experienced archaeologists struggle to believe what they're seeing. That's because they often set out looking for one thing, only to discover something perplexing, something neither they nor scientists can confidently explain. We've compiled a list of the most unbelievable discoveries that to this day remain without a convincing explanation. Are you new to our channel? Well, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Now, let's begin. Number 15. The enigmatic emerald tablet to live forever. Humans have searched for impossible answers since the beginning of time. Few objects have captured that desire quite like the legendary emerald tablet. For centuries, its mysterious words fascinated scholars, alchemists, and mystics who believed the text held knowledge capable of changing the world forever. According to legend, the tablet described insane secrets surrounding alchemy, immortality, and the mythical philosopher's stone, the substance said to turn ordinary metal into gold while offering the key to eternal life. The greatest mystery, however, has never been its message. It has always been its origin. Nobody on Earth can say with certainty who first wrote it or where it truly came from. Some believe it preserves fragments of wisdom passed down from a forgotten civilization, while others argue the entire story was carefully invented to mislead those chasing the impossible. Although the earliest known version appeared in Arabic writings around 12 centuries ago, its influence reached across Europe for hundreds of years, leaving behind a mystery that still refuses to disappear. Number 14. The wheel older than humanity. Some people say it was nothing more than a man-made hoax. Others think it could be genuine evidence that our understanding of Earth's past is far from complete. Whatever the truth may be, the mystery has never disappeared. Everything began inside a coal mine near Donetsk, where workers drilling almost 3,000 feet below the surface noticed an odd impression pressed into the sandstone overhead. It looked strikingly similar to the wheel of a wagon, or perhaps part of a machine no one expected to find there. The real surprise wasn't the shape itself. It was the age of the surrounding rock, believed to belong to the Carboniferous period nearly 300 million years ago. According to everything we know, Earth was covered with endless swamps and giant insects at that time, not people building wheels. Before scientists could carry out a full investigation, the mine flooded, and the formation disappeared forever. All that remains today are a handful of photos, countless arguments, and one question that still refuses to fade away. Number 13. The Sigtuna box. Calling it an ordinary copper box would be doing it a super big injustice. The Sigtuna box earned its name after it was discovered in Sigtuna during August 1911, and archaeologists quickly realized they were holding something far more amazing than a simple container. Its surface carries a runic inscription carved during the early 11th century, offering rare proof of the busy trading routes that once connected communities across the Baltic Sea. But the writing itself attracts even more attention than the box. Rather than a simple message, the inscription unfolds as an Old Norse poem written in the same respected meter once chosen by skaldic poets when honoring powerful rulers. Instead of praising a king, though, the verses tell the curious story of a cuckoo pursuing a thief before finally devouring him. Whatever meaning that strange scene once carried has vanished with time. Merchants probably used the box to carry portable scales for weighing silver and gold, while another inscription simply says, "Vermunder colored these runes," leaving everyone wondering who Vermunder really was. Do you know? Number 12. The square-faced mummy. Speaking of unusual burials, few have puzzled researchers quite like the Egyptian mummy, often called mummy la mode. The nickname comes from the way the linen was folded across the face, forming a neat checkerboard pattern. Every strip was placed with extraordinary patience, suggesting the burial was planned with exceptional care rather than simple tradition. X-rays later revealed the individual was an adult man who lived roughly 2,300 years ago and whose remains are now kept at the Louvre in France. Inscriptions on the wrappings and nearby burial objects point to the name Ninyu, or perhaps Pokeri, although no one can say for certain. Resting above the carefully arranged linen was an elegant mask decorated with winged scarabs, powerful symbols of rebirth in ancient Egyptian belief. Everything about the burial reflects wealth and importance. But history offers almost nothing about the man himself, leaving behind a beautiful farewell prepared for someone whose identity has quietly slipped beyond memory. Number 11. Gebel Gol Bahar underwater temples sometimes. The greatest mysteries begin with a single person refusing to ignore what everyone else dismisses. That was the position Hubert Zeitelmeyer found himself in during 1999 after exploring the waters off the coast of St. Julian's. The retired investor became convinced he had located the remains of an enormous submerged temple, later known as Gebel Gol Bahar. His claims immediately attracted criticism, partly because he openly admired Zecharia Sitchin and accepted ideas involving ancient astronauts, Nibiru, and the lost world of Atlantis. Zeitelmeyer even insisted that a goddess called Ashtar Tara had guided him to the site, making many experts reluctant to take the discovery seriously. Even so, one big question has never disappeared. No complete archaeological investigation has ever settled the debate. Supporters insist underwater walls, stone steps, and pieces of pottery can still be identified beneath the sea. Critics remain convinced the entire formation is natural. Until someone carries out a thorough excavation, Gebel Gol Bahar will continue balancing somewhere between forgotten history and enduring legend. Number 10. The Sampul tapestry. Most people have heard of the Bayeux tapestry, but far fewer know about the remarkable cloth recovered from the ancient settlement of Sampul in China's Tarim Basin. Woven from wool and recovered in 1984, the fabric immediately raised more questions than answers. By the time archaeologists uncovered it, someone had cut the artwork apart and stitched the pieces into a pair of men's trousers. That practical reuse seems almost unbelievable considering how extraordinary the original textile appears. Across its surface are unmistakable Hellenistic details, including a royal diadem and a Greek centaur, leading many researchers to believe it may have traveled from the distant Greco-Bactrian kingdom. Then another mystery appears. One human figure wears clothing associated with ancient China, prompting suggestions that it represents a Yuezhi soldier from the 1st century. If true, the tapestry blends Greek and Chinese traditions into a single work, unlike almost anything else ever recovered. Debate continues because the figure has blue eyes and European facial features. Even its proposed dates are not accurate. Number 9. The murder of Takabooti. The people of ancient Egypt became famous for preserving their dead so well that thousands of years later, many still look super intact. Takabooti was one of them. For generations, she rested in silence, giving nobody the slightest reason to think her story was any different from countless other mummies. After her remains reached Belfast during the 19th century, visitors lined up for the rare chance to witness the unwrapping of an Egyptian noblewoman from Thebes. Hieroglyphs revealed she belonged to a respected family closely connected with the priesthood, and that seemed to answer every important question. Then, modern technology stepped in. Detailed scans uncovered a fatal axe wound across her upper shoulder, proving she had been attacked from behind and died within moments. In an instant, an ordinary mummy became the victim of a murder that has never been solved. Later DNA testing added another unexpected twist, suggesting ancestry rarely associated with ancient Egyptians. So, who was this woman? Number 8. 4 Goat Square Zun. Some names sound so unusual that we almost expect them to be made up. The 4 Goat Square Zun is one of them, but it belongs to one of China's most amazing archaeological treasures. Rather than serving as an ordinary container, it was crafted as a ceremonial bronze wine vessel more than 3,000 years ago during the closing years of the Shang dynasty. Every side displays the head and body of a beautifully sculpted ram, with curling horns wrapping naturally around each corner, giving the vessel an appearance unlike anything else from its time. Adding even more artistry, 4 dragons intertwine beneath the goats, turning the entire piece into a masterpiece of ancient metalwork. Its remarkable journey began in April 1938, when 2 brothers digging for sweet potatoes on a hillside in Hunan province unexpectedly found it beneath the soil. Today it stands proudly inside the National Museum of China. Even that was not the end of its adventure. During the Second World War, it disappeared for years before resurfacing in 1952, allowing one of China's greatest treasures to return home once again. Number 7. The ancient Indian aliens and India might not be a fusion most people expect to hear, yet one remote corner of the country has been raising eyebrows for decades. Scattered across the cave walls of Bastar are paintings unlike the prehistoric artwork found elsewhere. Instead of familiar hunters or animals, many of the figures appear unusually thin, with oversized rounded heads and blank-looking faces that feel strangely out of place. Close by, other drawings resemble circular objects floating through the sky, leading some to wonder whether they represent far more than ordinary symbols. Local tribal traditions tell stories of mysterious visitors known as the Rohila. Small beings believed to descend from above, take people away, and return them sometime later. The resemblance to alien abduction accounts has kept the debate alive ever since. Archaeologists generally lean toward cultural or spiritual explanations, but even they admit the artwork stands apart from most prehistoric paintings across India. What inspired someone to paint them in the first place? Number 6. The underground ancient gods. Finding one ancient statue is enough to excite any archaeologist. Finding 3, each connected to powerful gods and resting beneath the same ruins, is something else entirely. That is exactly what unfolded at Kurul Castle near Turkey's Black Sea coast. Not long after the remarkable discovery of a beautifully preserved statue of the goddess Cybele, excavations brought 2 more figures into daylight. They represented Dionysus and Pan, deities whose names carried very different meanings in the ancient world. Dionysus symbolized celebration, fertility, and sacred ceremonies, but Pan inspired a far more uneasy feeling. With his horns, goat-like legs, and untamed appearance, he later became one of the figures that influenced how medieval Europe imagined demons. What continues to trouble researchers isn't simply who these statues represent. It's why they were deliberately placed beneath the ruins together in the first place. Were they part of a forgotten sanctuary, a ceremonial gathering place, or something far more private? Number 5. The Penri hoard treasure discoveries usually happen in a single, unforgettable moment. The Penri hoard followed a far stranger path, slowly revealing itself across more than 2 centuries. Scattered through fields around Penrith in Cumbria, the collection refused to give up all its secrets at once, making it one of Britain's most unusual archaeological puzzles. Everything began in 1785 when a large silver thistle brooch emerged from the ground. Almost half a century later, another nearly identical brooch appeared nearby, raising even more questions. Still, the biggest breakthrough waited until 1989, when 2 archaeological teams working closely together with metal detectors uncovered most of the remaining pieces. Historians think the larger brooches were deliberately placed in the ground around the year 930, although nobody can say with certainty whether the rest were buried during the same event or gradually found their way there over time. Their elegant penannular design first gained popularity in Roman Britain before being embraced by Vikings, leaving experts convinced that the silver ornaments certainly belonged to the Viking world. Number 4. The sealed black coffin. Many ancient coffins have been found across Egypt, but sometimes one appears that leaves even seasoned archaeologists wondering what they're dealing with. That happened in 2018 beneath the streets of Alexandria, where workers found a big black granite sarcophagus weighing close to 30 tons. At first, it seemed destined to become just another royal burial. The moment its heavy lid was lifted, though, expectations quickly changed. Inside rested the remains of 3 people, 2 men and 1 woman, partially submerged in a murky reddish liquid. Rumors of deadly curses spread around the world almost overnight, while thousands of curious people online jokingly insisted they wanted to drink the strange fluid. Scientists later identified it as sewage that had seeped inside over many centuries. Even so, the greatest puzzle had nothing to do with the liquid. The 3 people were buried at different times, and 1 man even showed signs of surgery, leaving behind questions that still have no convincing answers. Number 3. The Hoveve Amber Cup. This cup might be one of the most magnificent Bronze Age creations, yet it also happens to be one of the most mysterious. The Hoveve Amber Cup takes its name from Hoveve, where it came to light in 1856. It rested inside an enormous round barrow, but the excavation methods used at the time were so crude that much of the valuable evidence surrounding it was destroyed forever. Even so, the cup survived. It is one of only 2 amber cups ever recovered anywhere in the British Isles, with the other found in Dorset. Surprisingly, the 2 look nothing alike, leading researchers to believe they are unrelated. Dating to around 1250 BC, the vessel is linked to the Wessex culture. It was placed beside its owner inside a coffin carved from a single tree trunk, together with a dagger, an axe, and a whetstone. Although the cup was likely crafted in Britain, the amber itself came from the Baltic, hinting at surprisingly early trade across Europe. Number 2. The Inca underground tunnel in Cusco. People spoke for centuries about secret passageways running beneath the old Inca capital, linking important places below the streets. Spanish chroniclers even recorded those tales during the 16th century, but many historians dismissed them as folklore. That changed once modern tech entered the picture. Ground-penetrating radar and acoustic surveys revealed a long underground corridor extending for nearly a mile beneath the city. Researchers believe it connects the Temple of the Sun with the great fortress of Sacsayhuam through a passage known as the Chincana. Evidence suggests Inca builders excavated deep trenches, reinforced them with carefully fitted stone, then sealed everything overhead before the city continued growing above it. Some sections measure more than 8 feet across, making the route surprisingly spacious. Even now, nobody knows exactly why it was built, who regularly used it, or what quietly passed through those stone corridors long before anyone realized they were there. Number 1. The Lady of Barfser Church. Nobody expected a routine church renovation to uncover a mystery waiting beneath the floor. During work inside Barfser Church in Basel in 1975, builders broke into a sealed brick burial chamber containing 2 preserved coffins. One held little more than a skeleton, while the other protected the naturally mummified remains of a woman who would later become known as the Lady of Barfser Church. Careful historical research eventually revealed her identity as Anna Katharina Bischoff, whose life began in Strasbourg, France, in March 1719 before ending in Basel during August 1787. Her burial place was prestigious, something most likely connected to her husband, Pastor Lucas Gurnier, who faithfully served the church for many years. That alone made her story fascinating, but another surprise arrived centuries later. Scientific testing carried out in 2015 revealed that Anna shares a distant family connection with former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. But that's not the full story. Well, that's all from us. If you found this video interesting, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. Until then, stay curious. We'll see you soon.